white people, all right? White people cannot get published anymore. Can you imagine that, right? It's now official in Twitter with more than 12,000 likes. July 24th. This was a couple days ago. This was a couple weeks ago. A friend who is a literary agent, so Joyce, she writes, a friend who is a literary agent told me that he cannot even get editors to read first novels by young white male writers. No matter how good, they are just not interested. This is heartbreaking for writers who may, in fact, be brilliant and critical of their own privilege, right? Critical of their own privilege. Now, a lot of people have seen this. I remember when it was trending, I saw it too. And my reaction was complete rubbish. Today, I want to talk to you about why culture wars are absolutely nonsense, okay? Who knew there were so many aspiring oppressed white male writers? And I'm going to prove to you why this is nonsense. White guys, young, old, can easily get published. James Patterson in this writes here. James Patterson says, you don't see many 50-year-old white males getting writing contracts these days. This was said in a USA interview, in a USA Today interview. USA Today publishes a bestseller list of 150 entries. The day he was quoted, the following white men are on the bestseller list: Ed, Dr. Seuss, James Clear, James Patterson himself, all right, Eric, Stephen King, Bill Martin, Bill O'Reilly, all right, Robert Greene, all right. So as you can see here, James Patterson, again, the guy moves numbers. You can't deny that. Okay, he absolutely moves numbers. You have so many authors that are currently publishing, that are entirely super successful. Okay, 50-year-old white male on the list in Patterson's defense, right? So as you can see, it is entirely nonsensical that A, there aren't enough white people getting published. B, there aren't enough old white people getting published. And C, that young white people are not being considered. James Patterson here is spinning a narrative. He just said 52-year-old. So the young white males can't get published. The 52-year-olds can't get published. I mean, what? It's all just fear-mongering. It's all looking for a reaction. It's all looking to stoke and to kick up the flames of the culture war that is happening in the West. And it is entirely nonsensical. Subscribing to it is one way to make sure that your life is an unhealthy mess full of rage and sadness, misery that should not be there. Because honestly, when you go out and you leave the internet comment sections and you are walking down the roads, you are not going to be seeing a horde of black people that are pointing fingers at young white guys and telling them this is black America. No. The reality is this is a culture war used by, the media and by politicians and by the wealthy folk to do one of two things. For the wealthy to distract the workers so that the workers can be fighting each other. Remember, rich people are just rich people. If they have a rich black man among them, that's a rich man. All right? The rich are united, man. They don't give a damn if you're black or Muslim. Rich is rich. Look at American rich people. When they go to Saudi Arabia, they hug their friends. The rich work together. They make more money together. But the workers are distracted by this. So that's useful advantage number one. But useful advantage number two is, let's say you are a politician who wants to build his career. And you see in America, there's a lot of migrants coming in. You can stoke fears, create a problem that is really not that significant, and make it as if the America is being invaded, and the outcome is going to be the United States of America is under attack. And you first of all present this problem to people. And then you present yourself as a politician as the solution to this problem. And so you get votes. So it's a way for politicians to get votes, and it's a way for the wealthy to distract workers. Anyway, the comment section, every crisis is an opportunity. Now it's time for some literate hedge fund. Bro, dripping with expendable cash, a young John, whatever that is, to start a new publishing house devoted to publishing young, white, male writers who can't get published by Big Five. Trust me, it's all nonsense. All right. And so as you can see here, this is another comment, another reaction to it. You know, that's absolutely incredible, completely incredible. Not even a little bit credible, just fantastic. Not even a little bit credible. If you look at the number of young people that are debuting, you're going to find a significant number of them are, in fact, white. So as you can see here in Go Bookmart, you can see a list of 15 debut authors, best debut authors of 2021. Do you know who the first guy is? You know, I think they might be black. Oh, that's a white man. Alex Finley is nothing wrong with him. God bless him. God bless this white man. God bless him, and I wish great success for him. But I want you to understand, Ashley Audrian, she might be black. I think she's black, guys. Look how black she is. But God bless her, you know. Success is success. It's hard work. Another white guy. People are not having a, you know, a moment where they just banning young white guys from getting published. It's an empty, vapid rage. They want to piss you off so they can control you. All right? Emily Austin. I think she's a Muslim, guys. I think she comes from the Middle East. Oh, she comes definitely from the Middle East. I'm confident of that. Kelly. All right. So far we have seen nothing but white people. Nothing but. This is when you reach. Finally, you have Zakia. That's a Middle Eastern name, Arabi. And finally, you have black. Zakia. Right? As you can see, Willa, Lurches, Zakia, finally another, black person, and another black person. And then you come back to white, black, and Asian. There's one Asian here. It's quite a good number of black people. Exactly. It's quite a good number of black people. And, so you have a lot of white people, a few black people, and one Asian. In fact, I can show you here. This is a LitHub, right? This is a list by LitHub. It is another list, which basically says, these are the best-selling books of 22 and the authors. Guess who this guy is. Guess who this guy is, all right? As you can see here, white, all right? I actually checked. I checked in advance, right? I checked in advance. If you're wondering, white, American lawyer, white. I mean, let's be honest here. White guys can get published, all right? White guys can get published. He's age 51 years old. You see, the top 3 are already white. I checked. Colleen Hoover, Dr. Seuss. I mean, this is a white guy selling 727,000 copies of this book, just this one book, From Beyond the Grave, all right? There is no white people that are being suppressed, oppressed. The amount of wealth that white people hold is such that if you were to take a look at the GDP of Africa, they could buy Africa more than 50, 60 times. If Africa was on sale for 2 trillion, they could buy that entire continent several tens of times over. And this is the reality. It's all nonsense. It's all just a big joke to distract people, to create problems, to solve those problems, and to present yourself as the solution to those problems. It's all a nasty game of politics. Anyway, bad writing takes ads. When confronted with evidence from about half the internet that, statistically speaking, being white is quite a benefit in the publishing world, Joyce Carol Oates graciously accepted that there are exceptions to her claim while also doubling down. This is all just nonsense. I really appreciate my viewers, and I don't want you to have a miserable life. One way to have a miserable life is to buy into this nonsense and to absolutely assume that your enemies are black people. It's not really, because trust me, black people haven't built this world, the structures in place. Number two, it's not the black guy that's laying off, 5,000 workers from a giant multinational. Most of the time, it's just white. So these are averages, by the way, right? So you have to understand, it's all just a big nonsense. They're trying to get your votes. They love your vote. They don't love you. All right. Tomorrow they would throw you out. Sorry, it's so. But she writes, but it has been so for some time. I am surprised that others are surprised or disbelieving. We hope for exceptions. And of course, there are some. This is nonsense. This is absolutely nonsense. The dumbest thing you could have is basically, the dumbest thing you could do is buy into this culture war nonsense. It's going to be so toxic for your health. You're going to be miserable. But then you are a young 25-year-old white guy, entirely miserable because you have bought into this shit and you believe that there is something or someone out there who's coming to get you. The reality is, it's all nonsense. Simply put it this way: in New York, if you're walking down the road, no one gives a f if you're white or not. People are just too busy handling their life. And the reality is, all of this is manufactured. It's all manufactured. You don't see this happening naturally, okay? You don't see this happening across the world. Much of this culture warfare is entirely manufactured, and it is used not only to control but to get votes. It is a nice way to get votes, because remember, in politics, if you can always inflame and be carry basically scare the populace or the voter base, they'll start seeing you as the guy who is here to save them from those problems that were mentioned, and then you get votes. So I'm going to leave it here. It's all nonsense. Don't have a miserable life. Young white guys can still get published, and they'll continue to get published. And older white guys will continue to own the publishing industry and get published as well. So these are basic things. Anyway, tell me what you think down in the comments below, by the way. Have a nice day.